What is up, YouTube? This is AVAULT here, back again today with you guys. Another new Twisted Nightmares Yami Marik budget deck profile right here today. So as you guys know, we're in the week of basically playtesting or showcasing you guys the budget variants for Twisted Nightmares starter decks with Yami Bakura's budget deck, which we did release a couple days ago. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, be sure to check out that video. And today we are doing Yami Marik's, and just so you guys know, there will be the Speed Duel match 2 coming up very soon in a few days, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And just so you guys know, we will be playing exactly this Yami Marik budget deck profile against that Yami Bakura budget deck profile right there. So you guys love the budget deck profile series. I think it's once again a great way for you guys to come into the game to get started for speed duels, especially those who have never tried it out before, but also a very great value to pay for it. For $30, buy 3 copies of the Twisted Nightmare starter decks, and you can build this deck and basically head on to your locals and tournaments and start playing, which is extremely and incredibly fun to play. Anyways, so before we go straight into our deck profile, once again, we're using the same OCG Dark Attribute sleeves for our deck profile showcase today. For Yami Marik, it makes sense as well. It just matches him as well, since he's like all dark and shadowy. So I thought these are really cool sleeves to match. And also, just so you guys know, some of you guys have been asking where I've been getting these sleeves, and you seem very interested in some of them. If you guys want to support the AVAULT channel, be sure to check out the AVAULT eBay store in the description down below. We have lots of variety, not exactly this one though, a variety of different OCG card sleeves that with really incredible monster artworks officially from Yu-Gi-Oh on there for sale. We ship internationally as well, so be sure to check them out if you guys will. Anyways, moving into our skills right here, we are playing this Yami Marik skill. I personally think the most overpowered skill in this new format right here, which is Twisted Personality. Now, it's very simple. Each time a player loses life points, place 1 counter on this card. You can only have max 3 counters on this card, and once per turn during your main phase, you can use one of the following skills. You can remove 2 counters from this card and discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand, or remove 3 to destroy 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Now, this is absolutely incredibly crazy. I don't know what to say about this. This is a very generic skill that works about in almost any deck, and this deck I feel is very powerfully insane as well as we go into it. And this deck just works very well with this skill very consistently, just so you guys know. So with our boss monster, we are playing Lava Golem right here. Lava Golem is also a very powerful card, but sometimes it doesn't work out the best as all times. That's the reason why I only play 2. A 3 of is just way too much. Honestly, in our Speed Duel match, which I will give a little bit of some spoilers, we didn't play this card as much as we really intended to, because overall the deck the deck core itself without Lava Golem is equally as powerful. Anyways, cannot be normal summon or set. You have to tribute 2 monsters on your opponent's side of the field, and you can't to summon this monster onto their side of the field. You cannot normal summon or set this turn. You special summon this card, and once per turn during your standby phase, take 1000 damage. Now keep in mind, it's the controller who controls this card that will be taking 1000 damage. So each of your opponent's standby phases, they will be taking 1000 damage life points from there, and it's 1000 is a lot in Speed Duel. Anyways, moving into our other monsters, which I think is much more powerful. Gilgarth, which is the vanilla. We did play this in the Yami Bakura deck, but we're playing here in the Yami Marik deck as well, simply because it's a very powerful normal summonable monster with 1800 attack and 1200 defense stats, which is okay, but 1800 attack is really the major thing that we really want. Next, we play 2 new Dorias. It's really powerful as well, and really annoying card to deal with. If this card is destroyed by battle, sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster on the field and destroy that target. And keep in mind that this effect is mandatory. It doesn't say you can as well, and yeah, it doesn't say you can, so I think it's a mandatory effect. So but also we're just a really annoying card to deal with overall. Next, we're playing 2 Dark Geroids right here. I wanted to test out this card to see how powerful it was, or how much I guess capability it can actually do, and it turned out to be pretty decent. With Dark Geroid, basically if this card is summoned, you target 1 face-up monster on the field and it loses 800 attack permanently as well. Its stats is okay, 1200 attack and 1500 defense is not that great honestly, but making your opponent's monster lose 800 attack is quite a lot quite a lot. And with that amount of damage, attack points it loses, you can easily destroy their monsters. Dark Geroid can even single-handedly take on Gilgarth, basically, because if you summon Dark Geroid, it makes Gilgarth turn into 1,000 attack, and Dark Geroid can basically run over Gilgarth from there. Next, to round off our monsters, we are playing one Mask of Darkness right here. This is going to be a very trap-heavy deck, and we do want to recur our traps, just so you guys know. That's the reason we do play a 1-off. A 2-off is quite decent as well, but I think all these monster ratios overall worked out very well for this deck. So that basically rounds off for the entire monsters, and now we're moving to spells. We do play 2 Allure of Darknesses right here, just for draw power. We have lots of dark monsters, Gilgarth, New Doria, Dark Geroid, Mask of Darkness. They're all dark monsters for us to have draw power into more cards that we want. We don't really need to play 3, since this is a 20 card deck. When you're playing 3 Allure of Darkness, you're gonna dig too deep into your deck to the point that you're gonna lose all your resources way too quickly. So 2 is a really good ratio for this deck and Speed Duels overall. So that basically rounds up for our spells. Nothing more, nothing less. Next, we are moving into our traps. We are playing 3 Nightmare Wheels. I'm not going to explain too much what this card does. You guys can read it for yourself and know it already. It's basically essentially a trap version of Mask of the Accursed. Other than that, it's a continuous trap card, which is even better than Spellbinding Circle in my opinion, because it does inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Next, we have this new trap that we're also another new continuous trap, which is Zoma the Spirit. And Zoma the Spirit is a really obnoxious monster to deal with. I can certainly agree. It special summons itself as an effect monster in defense position, and if this card is destroyed by battle by an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the monster that destroyed it. So basically, it really pressures your opponent. It really forces them to think twice before they want to attack into Zoma. You're burning so many life points from your opponent that it works very well with Twisted Personality. Nightmare Wheel, Zoma the Spirit, what other monsters inflict damage, as well as Lava Golem, basically works so well with Twisted Personality, gaining your counters very consistently. Now for the last trap card I want to introduce to you guys, this is one of the best ones actually so far, is Coffin Seller right here. Now we only play a 2-off because we don't. I think Zoma the Spirit and Nightmare Wheel seems to be a card that you want to see more often, but Coffin Seller, you only just need 1 in the game and you're ready to go. Twisted Personality is gonna go on steroids because of Coffin Seller, and we will see that in the Speed Duel match coming soon, very soon. Each time a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, monster or monsters, so as it counts the time, not the amount of monsters, inflict 300 damage to your opponent. It's not much, but this is the key part. You will stack up your Twisted Personality so quickly. Now here's the reason why. You play Nightmare Wheel and you would be targeting your opponent's monster. Your opponent will want to get rid of their monster just so they can free up their own monster. In order to do that, they will have to sacrifice their monster. They'll take 300 damage, or they'll take 500 from Nightmare Wheel. Either way, Twisted Personality is gonna gain a counter stack right there. Your opponent has to discard cards from their hand for costs or anything. Coffin Seller comes in, gives you a free counter for Twisted Personality. Lava Golem as well. Your Lava Golem forces your opponent to take 1,000 damage. You gain another stack right here. Gilgarth is still really strong and powerful. It can deal damage with its attack itself, as well as Dark Geroid potentially. So you can do a lot of battle damage, but you guys can see there's a mixed battle damage and mixed a lot of effect damage. Zoma the Spirit as well, not to mention, really gains another stack. So if your opponent is losing much more and much more than you are when they attack into your Zoma the Spirit, or whenever they have to put a monster into their graveyard to get free from Nightmare Wheel, when you tribute your opponent's monsters, 2 of your opponent's monsters to bring out Lava Golem, Coffin Seller comes in, they take 300 damage because monsters were sent to their graveyard as well, and Twisted Personality gains counters once again, which is absolutely insane and crazy. And this deck is so powerful and annoying to deal with, but a little bit different. I do agree there's a lot of stalling and annoying cards to deal with in this meta, much more compared to last, but at least I feel like there's less stalling. There's much more burning happening. The burning life points and the stall is actually reaching a much more obvious win condition as they progress in this current meta compared to last meta. And despite all these annoying cards that Marik plays, they do end games fairly quickly. So that rounds up for the entire deck profile, the main deck with 20 cards, as I did mention earlier. So we'll move on to our side deck right here. With our side deck, very similar to a Yami Bakura, we're just playing 2 offerings to the Doomed, just in case we wanted to get rid of really annoying monsters. We do have to skip a draw phase, which is totally fine for Marik. Honestly, on this deck, it doesn't have as much draw power as Bakura does, but burning your opponent's life points is usually the way to go that you want to do. As long as you're set up, offerings to the Doom is not too bad. So use it at the right time with caution as well. Twister. Basically, I know once again you guys might think, oh, there's much more better alternatives out there. Of course, 100% you guys are absolutely correct. But Twister is the only available decent back row removal card in Twisted Nightmares. And as you guys can see, the reason why you want to be playing this is you do want to get rid of all those Nightmare Wheels, Coffin Sellers. Not sure about Zoma the Spirit because there's a special ruling with that, but let's just say Coffin Seller and Nightmare Wheel at least. These are some cards that you just really want to get rid of, and you do have to pay 500 life points on the downside, but then Twisted Personality kicks in, so Twister works well on your deck when you're playing Marik. It doesn't work as well when your opponent is playing it, so it's much more preferable if they're playing Dust Tornado. But anyways, regardless, that's the reason why we play Twister. So overall, if you guys have access to a different back row removal card, such as Dust Tornado or Spell Shattering Arrow, totally go for that as well instead of Twister. But that's the only card that we have with our resources, since it's a limited budget deck profile overall. Last but not least, 2 forceful checkpoints once again to check out your opponent's hand, discard cards, and look for information that is really vital to actually anticipate their next play coming up overall. And really glad that this was reprinted as a common, because it was an ultra rare in previous set, which makes it very difficult to get as well and obtain. But that basically rounds up the entire deck profile right here. Once again, guys, just so you guys know that usually I do really stress about having an extra deck or a fusion deck with fusion monsters, just so to kind of like outplay mindfully with your opponent, or not give away your position of exactly which deck you're playing personally, just so that they'll be a little bit more wary. But unfortunately with Twisted Nightmares, once again, there are no new fusion monsters that we could be adding into the extra deck in order to do so. But if you guys do have any Speed Duel legal fusion monsters, be sure to gather them, 6 of them, and put together up a fusion deck just in case anyway. So yeah, that rounds off the entire deck profile. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you guys did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the AVAULT channel for more awesome Speed Duel content. Just so you guys know, the Speed Duel match budget version of Twisted Nightmares Match Duel will be coming really soon, so we will get to see both this deck and the Yami Bakura budget deck profile in action just in a few days. So be sure to click that subscribe button, click that, and turn on that notification bell so you guys don't miss out or get notified as soon as the video is released. Also refer to the channel to any families or friends that who love Speed Duels just as much as you guys do, and I would greatly appreciate it. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video, and this is AVAULT signing out.